In 1587, over 100 English settlers arrived in the New World. 3 years later, the entire colony vanished without a trace. No bodies, no blood, no weapons.
Sounds like the start of a horror movie.
All they left behind was a single word carved into a tree: CROATOAN. Let's go back. In 1584, Queen Elizabeth I sent Sir Walter Raleigh to set up England's first colony in America. His team picked Roanoke Island, a wooded stretch off North Carolina's coast surrounded by shallow waters.
So what happened with the first attempt?
The 1585 colony was military in nature. About 100 men. They quickly ran into problems: poor relations with local tribes, lack of food, and no resupply. By 1586, they had to be evacuated by Sir Francis Drake.
And then they tried again?
Yes, in 1586 or 87, a second group tried to reestablish the colony, but also faced hardship. Supplies ran low again, and they depended entirely on help from England that never came on time. That effort also collapsed. The third attempt in 1587 brought 115 settlers, including women, children, and even a pregnant woman.
That sounds risky.
Very much so. The third attempt had fewer provisions, no strong military escort, and was initially intended for Chesapeake Bay. But due to ship captain Simon Fernandez's decision, they were left at Roanoke instead.
So they were stranded at a site with a track record of failure?
Exactly. They had no proper fortifications, poor supplies, and were hundreds of miles from the intended site. Everything about the third colony was fragile from the beginning. And on that island, she gave birth to Virginia Dare, his granddaughter. The first English child born in the New World.
Sounds like a dream, until it became a nightmare.
But there's a vital context before we get to the disappearance. The 1580s marked the height of tension between England and Spain. War broke out in 1585. In 1588, the Spanish Armada attempted to invade England and failed, but the war dragged on until 1604.
So White couldn't return because England was defending its shores?
Exactly. From 1588 to 1589, all English ports were closed. Every ship was needed for defense. No one could leave. White wanted to help. He returned to England for supplies, but found himself trapped. For 3 years, he couldn't get a single ship to return.
So they were stranded. Sacrificed, really.
Roanoke was never meant to be a homestead. It was a pirate outpost. Elizabeth I had authorized privateers to raid Spanish treasure ships. Raleigh chose Roanoke for its hidden location and proximity to Spanish sea routes.
So it was more of a military lookout than a family town?
Precisely, and the Spanish knew it. They even drafted plans to wipe it out, though they never executed them. White finally returned in August 1590, on Virginia Dare's third birthday.
What did he find?
Nothing. The colony was gone, no fight, no bones, just the words CRO and CROATOAN carved into a fence and a tree. They had a code. If they moved, they'd carve a destination. If attacked, they'd add a cross. No cross was found.
So they left. But where?
Let's map it. Roanoke Island lies in the Outer Banks, east-facing and narrow. CROATOAN referred to both a tribe and nearby Hatteras Island, reachable within a day's sail. Farther inland is Bertie County, where archaeologists found artifacts at Site X. Together, these three locations form the triangle of Roanoke theories. Some believe the colonists simply relocated to live with the friendly CROATOAN tribe. Assimilation with the CROATOAN tribes, and it's just 50 miles south of Roanoke. Easy to reach by boat. Later explorers found Native Americans there who spoke some English, had light-colored eyes, and used iron tools. In 1998, a stone with the initials DARE was found nearby, and archaeologists uncovered European items like slate tablets and copper rings.
So the settlers didn't vanish. They adapted.
A 2012 re-examination of John White's original map revealed a hidden fort symbol, visible only under ultraviolet light.
Hidden in plain sight for 400 years?
Exactly. The symbol aligns with the place now called Site X in Bertie County, about 50 miles inland. There, researchers found pottery shards and weapon fragments from the late 1500s. The site shows no signs of permanent settlement afterward, implying a short-term refuge. Tree ring data shows that from 1587 to 1589, the region suffered its worst drought in 800 years.
So they couldn't grow crops, fish, or find clean water?
Exactly. Combine that with depleted supplies, no incoming help, and possible tensions with neighboring tribes. It's a recipe for collapse. Some may have died, others may have split up, some heading inland, some south, some nowhere.
Could all three be true? Some stayed, some moved, some died?
That's the most reasonable conclusion. Of course, there are supernatural theories, aliens, wormholes, even curses.
The usual suspects when history gets inconvenient.
Exactly. When reality feels unsatisfying, myths offer comfort, but they lack evidence and distract from the complex truth: imperial neglect, climate disaster, and isolation.
So people would rather believe in aliens than admit someone forgot the groceries.
The Roanoke mystery became a cautionary tale. Later colonies like Jamestown came better supplied and better armed, but the word CROATOAN became legend. It appears in horror stories, novels, even supernatural TV shows.
So the real disappearance became a metaphor for fear, for failure, for the unknown.
And a reminder of how much is buried in the margins of history. Somewhere in those woods, over 400 years ago, someone carved a word, not for history books, not for mystery lovers, just to be remembered.
And they were. Not for who they were, but for the silence they left behind.
Roanoke didn't vanish. It became part of the story we still don't know how to end. In summary, there were no other disappearance events in the late 1500s quite like Roanoke. Its complete vanishing made it unique, even in its own time. Comparing Roanoke with similar mysteries in other eras reveals a common pattern. Small, isolated communities facing extreme conditions vanish and are later mythologized by future generations. Roanoke is both a product of the age of exploration and a timeless narrative of disappearance. It wasn't a supernatural event. It was the inevitable result of accumulated factors: imperial neglect, geographic isolation, environmental hardship, and lack of rescue. Its mystery endures because it echoes something deeper in us: the fear of being forgotten,